Greetings, Wildcats. Tubby Smith impressed with the character Pope and Brooks bring to Kentucky. Are they crazy or geniuses? What can we expect for the Wildcats with these guys? Let's take a closer look. Tubby Smith knows what it's like to lead Kentucky to the top. He was a man who, in 1998, cut down the nets in San Antonio and placed another national championship banner on the roof of Rupp Arena. So, when someone with a story talks about the current state of basketball in Lexington, it's worth listening. And, according to Tubby, the program is in excellent hands. Both the men's program with Mark Pope and the women's program with Kenny Brooks. I'm very impressed with the character of the men who are leading our Kentucky Wildcats. Smith said in an interview with Sources Say, the word character isn't used by accident. It sums up what Smith sees in Pope and Brooks. Two coaches who understand tradition, respect the weight of the jersey, and yet are bringing new energy to Kentucky basketball. Mark Pope, a former Wildcats player and now head coach of the men's team, has led a rebuild that goes far beyond victories. In his first year, he inherited an entirely new roster, 9 players debuting, and still led Kentucky to the Sweet 16, beating 8 top 15 opponents, the most in a single college basketball season. Tubby Smith doesn't hide his admiration. He was excellent. He did a remarkable job. If the kids hadn't gotten hurt, he probably would have won the league. Pope's success didn't come by chance. From day one, he demonstrated an understanding of what it means to lead Kentucky, a 24/7, 365-day job. You know you're representing the best basketball program in the United States, Smith recalled. This awareness that every detail, every practice, every conversation matters has been the fuel behind the culture Pope has cultivated in Lexington. He has successfully united talented players and made them believe in a collective system where effort and a winning mentality are as important as individual talent. Across campus, Kenny Brooks has done something equally remarkable with the women's team. His arrival has brought renewal, structure, and purpose. Smith, who has closely observed the men's and women's team's practices, highlighted how the groups are in sync with their coaches. I'm very impressed with the level of teaching and coaching and how the players communicate with each other, how they respond to their teaching and coaching. It's the kind of praise that carries weight, coming from someone who understands how difficult it is to maintain discipline and cohesion in programs that thrive in the spotlight. Smith's vision is clear. Pope and Brooks aren't just coaching teams, they're building cultures. Kentucky has always had talent, but what the former coach sees now is something deeper, a sense of direction and purpose that can sustain winning for years to come. The identity they are both shaping is a combination of technical rigor, personal integrity, and a genuine connection with the athletes. Before Big Blue Madness, Smith left a direct message to Pope's team. Believe. Trust the system. You need to be able to anticipate, not just on the court, but off it as well. Simple words, but with the weight of someone who has lived to the peak and understands what it takes to get back there. Tubby Smith, who built his legacy at Kentucky, now sees two coaches who carry the torch with the same pride he once felt. Mark Pope and Kenny Brooks not only represent the future of Wildcats basketball, they symbolize the rebirth of an era in which character, hard work, and belief in the system are once again the foundations of greatness in Lexington. And if number 9, that long-awaited Nike national title, starts to appear in players' dreams, perhaps it's because, with Pope and Brooks, Kentucky's championship spirit is more alive than ever. This year's Big Blue Madness will go down in history, not only as a celebration of the start of Kentucky's basketball season, but as a moment that united generations and reaffirmed the intangible power of tradition at Rupp Arena. The surprise appearance of John Wall, one of the greatest names to ever wear the blue and white, was more than nostalgia. It was a declaration of continuity and love for program. And he didn't come alone. Alongside Mark Pope, the coach who is shaping a new era for the Wildcats, Wall brought back unforgettable memories of that magical night in 2009, when his iconic dance took the world by storm. The stage entrance was perfectly choreographed, as if no time had passed. The musicians emerged first, each emerging from their elevator to the mesmerizing beats of Sirius, the same song that echoed throughout the glory days of Michael Jordan's Chicago Bulls. It was impossible not to feel a chill, especially when Mark Pope appeared at the center of the stage. He wasn't there just as a coach, but as a conduit for the electric energy that makes Big Blue Madness one of the most special events in college basketball. But the climax of the evening came when the beats of Ice Cream Paint Job began to blare through the speakers. Pope pointed down, anticipating something grand, and then the elevator rose, revealing a familiar figure, John Wall. The former star guard, now an NBA veteran, was back where it all began. With the same youthful energy as in 2009, he recreated his famous dance, while Pope, with a wide smile on his face, followed his movements. It was a moment that transcended the spectacle. It was a passing of the baton between two eras, a tribute to past greatness and a promise of the future. Wall, who played only one season at Kentucky before being selected first overall in the NBA draft, spoke about the lasting impact the program had on his life. "I only played 1 year, but it felt like I played here forever," he said during the SECN Plus broadcast. His connection to the state, the university, and the fans is evident. He didn't have to be there, but he chose to return because, as he himself said, he wants to keep the tradition alive and return the love he receives to this day. This sentiment speaks deeply to Kentucky culture, where basketball isn't just a sport, it's a living tradition. Wall's presence also served as a reminder of the legacy built by John Calipari, and now carefully managed by Mark Pope. While it's still early to fully assess Pope's work, moments like this show that he understands the importance of honoring the past while building the future. Rick Pitino, another legendary name associated with the program, had been the special guest at Big Blue Madness the previous year, creating an almost impossible expectation to surpass. But with Wall by his side, Pope didn't just match that energy. He took it to another level. There's something symbolic about all this. Just as Wall returned to the place where his career took off, Pope is trying to rebuild Kentucky based on the pillars that have always defined the program: extraordinary talent, unwavering passion, and a close-knit community. Seeing these two figures together on stage, dancing under the lights of Rupp Arena, was proof that the Wildcat spirit remains alive and well. This performance wasn't just about dancing or an extravagant introduction. It was about belonging. It was about showing that no matter how much time passes or what changes occur, certain things never cease to be true. For John Wall, Lexington will always be his home. And for Kentucky fans, he will always be one of theirs. On a night dedicated to celebrating the beginning of a new journey, nothing could have better expressed the beating heart of this program than seeing Wall and Pope side by side. Let us know what you think.